Yo, what is going on, guys? I know it's been a bit since I've come at you with a video, but I'm finally back from my traveling. Just returned from San Diego Regionals, where I did manage to place top 8 with the Malamar list you guys see in front of you right now. The Chomp, Malamar, Trevenant. I don't even know what you want to tag team Malamar. Maybe it's tag. I like that tag team Malamar because we do have 2 tag teams in the deck: the Trevenant, Dusknoir, and the Giratina Garchomp guy. So yeah, this is what I played at San Diego Regionals. I did manage to place in the top 8, where I unfortunately did lose to the eventual second place finisher, the Melmetal Omastar deck, which, although it might seem like a terrible matchup, is actually a pretty close matchup. I think maybe this build of Malamar is maybe slightly favored. If not, the matchup's about 50-50. The Nightwatch and the Pale Moon GX, and also the GG and Calamitous Slash are super good against the Melmetal deck. So the matchup is actually pretty close. We had a close set in the top 8. It was good games for sure. And I'm happy with my finish overall there in the top 8 with the Malamar deck. So let's go over a couple cards in the list and why I played them. So to start off, we do have the Giratina Garchomp and the Trevenant Dusknoir. Now both these guys are in here to kind of just give options, specifically against Gardevoir, Guardian. The Tina Garchomp, very good against Guardian. Use Calamitous Slash to close a game out. You don't put him in then. You don't want to put him in play before that. He is weak to Fairy, but like at the end of the game, you can just be like, all right, Calamitous Slash, last 3 prize cards. It's pretty easy to knock out the first Guardian with Shadow Impacts over and over again. Eventually, you'll catch up to them, and they won't have the Mallow and Lana to heal it again. You take the knockout, and then you follow up with a Calamitous Slash knockout after they probably knock out a Tina that had a spell tag, or you put Distortion Door damage in play. Knock out a different Guardian with Calamitous Slash, draw your last 3 prize card. So it kind of cleans up the Guardian matchup. Trevenant, not as good in the Guardian matchup. Can be good if you catch him with a low hand size. You can just start using Nightwatch. Or if you catch them with a lot of energy in play on just one of the Guardians, you can hit him with the Pale Moon GX, just discard all the energy in play. There's 2 Great Catchers in the deck, so if they have like a Guardian in the active with the 0 energy and one on the bench with like 5, you just go, all right, Great Catcher that up, Pale Moon GX, discard your 5 energy, and kind of almost fully reset your opponent down to pretty much nothing. Other matchups they're good against, I mean, pretty much they can be good against anything. Specifically, these guys were included though to give Malamar a chance against ADP. Another card that we could have included maybe over the Ditto would have been a Latios GX, so could have played all 3 of those all 3 of those GX Pokemon. But specifically, the Pale Moon GX is super good against ADP. If ADP doesn't GX attack with ADP, they are unfavored in the matchup. As soon as they do GX attack with ADP, you just Pale Moon GX them in response, or GG end them, or Calamitous Slash knock it out after using a linear attack, and fully reset their board down to 0 energy in play. And even if they were able then to have gotten the GX attack off, they have no attackers set up and can't pressure you at all, which gives you plenty of room to start pressuring them. Which is another reason the double Great Catchers are good, because if you knock out the first ADP, or just want to bring it up early on and just punch it after they attach the first energy to it, or after you do knock them out after the GX attack, you bring up the Keldeo they're setting up and just punch that before they get to utilize it. Yeah, 2 Great Catchers are also super good in that matchup. We do have the one of Faba in here. It's good against ADP because they play special energy. It's good against Mewtwo because they have the Stealthy Hood and the Weakness Guard energy. It's good in a lot of unique or random situations. It's good in mirror match to get rid of your opponent's spell tags or Escape Board. So the one of Faba is just kind of good. There's a lot of matchups where you can just utilize it at some point to give yourself a slight advantage or a slight edge in the situation. Because it's very easy to just be like, all right, I'm just going to attack with Giratina this turn, and I'll use Faba for my supporter for turn. And then, I mean, we got the Mimikyu with the Shadow Box for the Mewtwo matchup, pretty much making that matchup an auto win. You've got the Baby Blacephalon with the Fireworks Bomb on the 3 prizes, of course. Yeah, there's nothing too unique besides the 2 tag teams there, and I've kind of explained what they're there for. Gives you a little bit extra swing, a little bit harder. Nightwatch, also, the thing about Nightwatch, it also gives you a chance against Dullstall as well as Pidgey Control. I actually did beat 1 Pidgey Control. The 1 Pidgey Control I played against, I did beat. Game 1, I went first, and I immediately went turn 2 Nightwatch, constantly limited his hand down to like 3 or 4 cards, and he wasn't ever able to pull off like a big combo, and was a pretty straightforward win from there. Game 2 was a little bit more interesting. Didn't quite get to use the Nightwatch strategy, but I did manage to take it in a 2-0 fashion. Or basically 1-0, I think time was called. I think I would have drawn my 6 prizes. I guess there was still a chance he had some comeback in there. But yeah, that's the list. Let's go ahead and get into some games, and I'll show you guys how we can optimally utilize these tag team Pokemon in the Malamar deck. up first here in this one. A pretty good start. We got double Jirachi. We got the Lillie. We got an Acro Bike. Yeah, it doesn't get too much better than this. We'll definitely take this. Hopefully the Acro Bike finds good to utilize. We'll see what the heck we're up against here. Looks like a mirror match. So the mirror match is really cool. I'm actually a big fan of mirror match. I actually enjoy playing it a lot. So yeah, we're gonna kind of break this one down. The one thing we want to try and set up a lot of, oh goodness, is man, see, I was trying to get a way to find a Pokemon so I can put spell tag and energy on it. We did not find that, but we don't want to give our opponent Viridian Forest, but we also want to clear out our hand and use Lillie. So I guess we are going to go with Viridian Forest, get rid of a Jirachi, and grab nothing, and then I can Lillie for 3, or I can just play. I'm just gonna Lillie for 3. I just want to find a Pokemon here, or a way to find a Pokemon. Not yet. Acro Bike. There's a comp, but then we lose the fishing rod. Oh man, so tough Acro Bike here. Actually, horrible Acro Bike here. But I guess we're gonna have to go for the fishing rod. The fishing rod is definitely a way better card than the what's it called? And man, oh man. Oh my goodness. Just gonna go ahead and pass over to our opponent. All right, so super poor start here. Actually, really bad start, but we're still fine. Still confident in my Malamar mirror match abilities to be able to pull this one out. Yeah, the fishing rod is very important in this matchup. I don't really want to give up the fishing rod. So yeah, no ways to find poke. We dug pretty deep to find no ways to find poke. Whoa, okay. Not expect the welder alongside the Blacephalon. It turns out we were playing against big Blounds the whole time, and I have been completely bamboozled. We're not gonna lose or anything like that, but that was, yeah, that was a trip. I did not expect that at all. They can get their psychic energy. This is actually a little bit annoying. They get their psychic energy here now, and are gonna be able to start using the fireworks bomb immediately here on turn 1. All right, that is a funny I don't even know what the right word to say. It's a funny situation that has developed here. That is for sure. Did not expect that. I immediately assumed a mirror match. Turned out it is not. We're still fine. Not worried about it. There's the fireworks bomb. 4-door active. It's fine. Tails. All right, we're just gonna look to set up a Tina on turn 2 here. We just want to find. Gonna use this immediately. Turns out he's prized. That is unfortunate. Stellar Search. Stellar Wish. Excuse me. Stellar Wish. Calm back in this guy, get ourselves a Tina, gonna bench a second Jirachi, attach spell tag, attach psychic, and go from there. Spell tag, psychic, Cynthia. All right, still fine. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Should be good. I'm gonna start with Acro Bike here actually. Take Lillie for sure. I get rid of Trevenant. I don't really need Trevenant in this matchup. Could attach this active. I could also just wait. I think I'm just gonna go with the just wait strategy here. See what our opponent has. We just need a treasure at this point, which we have 4 of left to pull off the turn 2 knockout. Treasure away a psychic. Psychic recharge, attach, and then shadow impact. But if I attached here and retreated, he would definitely not knock out the new one in the active. Like, he's definitely just gonna fireworks bomb 3 here, 1 somewhere else. So I definitely just want to save the escape board to put on this Jirachi for sure. I think, yeah, definitely not worth putting on that Jirachi. And then we should be in a good spot. Blacephalon being prized kind of sucks, but this matchup is pretty good, so I'm not really too worried about it. Just got to start swinging here as soon as possible. Definitely a little bit behind because of the matchup I thought it was, as opposed to the matchup that it actually is. But we should still be in a fine spot. Yeah, expect the fireworks bomb here. Damage. We do actually want to get out the what's it called at some point to shut down the ultra conversion as well. We don't want our opponent to really sit here and ultra conversion over and over again. We do want to shut that down as soon as possible. We don't want to give them free ultra conversions. It's a big deal if they have access or don't have access to ultra conversion throughout the game. Also, no, that's about it. I was gonna say it also shuts down Dedenne, but that's not how Mimikyu works at all. Don't listen to me. It does not shut down Dedenne. They can Dedenne freely however they want. Yeah, not quite how it works. So yeah, it works. I expect 3 here, 1. I don't even know where they put the 1. It probably isn't relevant where they put the 1 anymore at this point. We'll see where they put it, but I don't think it's gonna matter where they put it. Yeah, we'll see here in a second. 1 here seems reasonable enough. I don't think it actually does anything, but sure, no problem. Draw for turn. Great Catcher I don't hate the use of Great Catcher here, especially because it thins out our hand and gets that Psychic in the discard pile. So I think I am going to Great Catcher here. The question is just, what do I Great Catcher? I kind of want to Great Catcher this guy here. Yeah, I'm going to Great Catcher him, and then we might even be able to get the Mimikyu out and shut down, what's it called, this turn. Let's see, there's the Mimikyu. Do not have a way to get, what's it called yet. So we're going to go dig for that. Yeah, we need a way to get a Malamar into play still. Definitely want a Malamar into play. Still I wish. There's a treasure. Getting a little nervous, but we're good. And I'm going to treasure away the Escape Board, I believe here. Yeah, get rid of the Escape Board. Grab that Malamar. And then we'll Psychic Recharge and we'll be all good. A little bit nervous, but we pulled it back just fine. I am going to Distortion Door, and I am going to hit up both of these to potentially prevent other Ultra Conversions from happening. I don't want any other Ultra Conversions happening. I'm trying to shut that down. That's the whole point of situation I developed here. We don't want our opponent to Ultra Conversion at all, if possible. Here we are. Here we go. No more Ultra Conversions. And then Shadow Impact for, I don't know, 130. I actually wasn't even sure how much damage we were doing. I'm going to go ahead and punch my own Mimikyu, I think, here on the bench. I can't. Oh, that's right. They have this guy set up. All right. Okay, I messed that up. They can retreat and now just Fireworks Bomb and knock out our Mimikyu. I completely forgot this guy even existed. So big misplay here from me. Yeah, okay. All right, we're still fine. I'm not too worried about it. We will be okay. But yeah, now they can just hard retreat and knock out this Mimikyu. I should have put the 4 on my own Tina, I think, actually. Now that I forgot, this actually makes the matchup a lot weirder that this guy exists in the matchup. I don't know if he wants to use it now or try and utilize it later on at a point when he can utilize it for the full effect. Definitely a mistake here by putting the 40 damage here because it opens up the possibility. And there's a Mallow and Lana, which is pretty good at healing all the damage I just did for my turn. So that's actually going to be super annoying. So yeah, they are going to KO my Mimikyu here now. I definitely misplayed by playing it like that. I just didn't even think that was an option. I didn't think they'd be able to actually KO this, but I completely forgot this was a card in the deck. So now we're in big trouble. Huge trouble, if you would. If we're going to do our best to try and pull it back here. There's a treasure for another charge up. And again, now they're going to go down to a 0-card hand here. And can't for sure even Ultra Conversion because they don't have it. Yeah, they don't have a hand. They could have kept an Ultra Beast in hand for after they KO this, and then they might have been able to. Instead choosing to do this. They might be going after my Ditto, though. Maybe that's their strategy here, is to go after the Ditto. We'll see here. They're doing it right now. They can KO the Mimikyu, get access to Ultra Conversion again, or they could go after the Ditto and cut me off from a Malamar, but that's not really going to be relevant, I don't think. Yeah, they're going to go after the Mimikyu. Makes sense to me. I definitely want to try and get him back out as soon as possible. There's another Cynthia. That's good. I'm going to get rid of this. Grab ourselves another Psychic. Yeah, I've definitely dug myself quite a hole here with my poor plays so far. I don't even know what I've been thinking most of this time. I'm losing my mind here. All right, go ahead and get ourselves another Malamar. Onto the Ditto. We can Lana's Fishing Rod or the Mimikyu. I don't want to do it yet, though, just because I kind of want to put a spell tag back in the deck as well, and they would need exactly like an Ultra Beast off of Prize plus top deck for it to be relevant. So we're just gonna go Shadow Impact Knockout. I'm gonna throw 40 damage on a Malamar. Yeah, I really want to what's it called here coming up. It's eluding me. I'm sure you guys know what I mean when I'm saying what I'm saying. I really want to get the spell tag back. That's what I want to do. I want to get the spell tag back. That way I have a higher chance to get a spell tag. And spell tag, get another spell tag into play, and utilize a spell tag. That's what I want. I want to get a spell tag back with the Fishing Rod, not just, oh, there's the Ultra Conversion. So I could have got the Mimikyu back and done it, but I wanted a spell tag back, so maybe I'm getting a little bit greedy there. Okay, next turn, we'll keep this guy shut down. We'll shut down the Ultra Conversion. And they do need a Lost Zone 3 energy here to actually even take a knockout. But I guess them running out of energy isn't going to be a problem anytime soon. They have a ton of energy in play. We're not even knocking this thing out next turn. I don't know. Are we in trouble already? We're kind of in trouble. We're not going to be able to use Baby Blacephalon, which isn't as big of a deal in this matchup. I feel like using the Baby Blacephalon is like okay, but really not that big of a deal actually. And there's a charging up, and I expect a Mind Blown to happen here, and then we'll Move all the spell tag damage there, and then go ahead and hit this for 130, leaving it at 10 HP left. And then actually we could Great Catcher something up and then Distortion Door and knock it out on the following turn. There's a Cherish Ball, there's a Dedenne. So that Ultra Conversion actually doing a whole ton for our opponent here. And yeah, there it is, ditching another Void Bolt. How many Ultra Beasts? They definitely have some Ultra Beasts left, so I definitely still want to shut this thing down. And I even potentially want to get a Mew on my bench to stop the potential of Venom Shot happening, because I don't want to get Venom Shotted and have him like get around spell tags that way. But that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 fires in play. So yeah, they still have quite a few left, so they could definitely Venom Shot. Yeah, here's the Mind Blown, one off the active, one from there probably, 3 into the Lost Zone, knocking out our Giratina. Not a huge deal, not super worried about it. I have plenty of draw supporters left, right? I have 4 draw supporters left, so it's likely we see a draw supporter here. Go ahead and throw all 4 up here. They go down to 3 prizes. I think we're still in a fine spot. I'm actually not doing the math in my head right now, so it's possible we've already lost the game. Like, theoretically, we should be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. We can also get sneaky with like Trevenant or something if we really want to. I guess we can't use Trevenant, or we could use Giratina. We could like GGN something, discard the energy. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I still have my fighting energy left, so we could still potentially pull off some weird play like that. Not worried about it. Just gonna keep going. Wait for our opponent to draw their prize card so I can do my turn. Maybe sometime soon? Nope. Alright, well I guess we're just gonna sit here waiting for our opponent to draw their prize card. Alright, there we go. Finally. Sheesh. Alright. Draw for turn. It is the Tina-Chomp, which I don't want to give up yet, because it's very possible we might be able to utilize him in a cool way coming up very soon. Alright, Lana's Fishing Rod. Gonna get back this guy. Gonna get back the spell tag. Gonna get that guy out of the deck. Go ahead and grab him. And we have, what, 1 Psychic, 1 Fighting left. Okay. Throw him down. I think I will attach a Psychic here. And Cynthia. Not giving our opponent B-Strings just yet. There is the spell tag. I think I am going to go with Distortion Door here. I'm going to go ahead and hit up this guy for sure. And then I guess this guy, sure, why not? Come up and Psychic Recharge a bunch of times here. And then I might want to put the Mew into play next turn. Next turn is the turn I might want to put Mew into play. After he gets B-Strings, if he puts B-Strings on the, what's it called, that guy, then I might want to do that. There's a Shadow Impact, and now we're going to safely put 40 here on the Malamar. Before it wasn't quite as safe, but I wasn't really thinking before. We're thinking now, we should be all good. When they knock us out with the Mind Blown, we can put the spell tag damage here. If they play Lysander Labs, if they get another Mallow and Lana, there's a couple things that would make this really tough because of my misplays up to this point. But if they don't get any of those shenanigans, we'll be in a really good spot. We'll be in a very good spot if they don't have any shenanigans. If the shenanigans do happen, though, we'll be in a questionable spot. I think we'll be able to figure it out. They won't have B-String for 2 turns, but yeah, I think next turn is when I'm going to want to put the Mew in play to prevent our opponent from being able to snipe our benched Pokemons. We don't want that. We don't want our benched pokes getting sniped, our opponent avoiding spell tag. They are on the 3 prize turn, so they can actually knock us out with Turning Point, but that's fine because that'll give us a 1 prizer to knock out. We'll knock out this guy, then we'll knock out this guy with the Great Catcher to close out the game, and we'll be, in a fine spot. So I'll put us down to 4, but they are just going with the Mind Blown. All right, that's fine with me. I'm curious actually to see what they send up here. We're gonna put the 10 here, 3 here, and just go from there. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Mind Blown, 150. Yeah, we want to force 3 energy every time. We're gonna put 1 here, and I think just the rest here. It actually is possible we skip B-String turn. I actually just kind of realized we can KO this turn if we get our Great Catcher, which would actually be pretty cool. This guy goes up. Check their discard real fast. Yeah, so we can actually skip B-String, which we definitely want to do if we are able to. We just kind of have to wait and see if we can get the. Oh no, they sent it to the active. Now we can't skip B-String. Never mind. No B-String skipping happening. I don't think. 10, 130. No. No way to skip. If I put the 3 there, I could have skipped B-String. So maybe that was the play the whole time. Kind of didn't even think it was possible, so I didn't even really think about it. But now that I've thought about it, we could have skipped B-String. So I want to put the Mew in play, like I said. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Spell Tag should go here. Then I can just go ahead and Lillie for 1, which is fine. Put some Psychic Recharges down. 1 here. I'll put a Psychic Recharge on a Malamar as well. Go ahead and use a Stellar Wish. Get the Cynthia for the future, possibly. To the hand. And I think despite all of my ridiculous mistakes that have led us to this point where we are right now, I think we're actually going to be in an okay spot and should be able to take this. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this Malamar. I believe the other Malamars in the deck. Yep. Thin out the deck a little bit more. I guess I could have done that before I Stellar Wish and stuff. Wasn't really thinking it would be necessary, but now that I was like looking at it, I was like, well, that actually seems pretty good. Go ahead and hit this guy for 130. Throw the 40 on the Jirachi. Why not? And all right, we're in a great spot now. I think we have this one pretty much locked up. They have to discard 3 more energy, or Lost Zone, 3 more energy to actually knock us out. And then we can knock this thing out. We have a couple options. Could GG end, depending on where they put their energy. We could Calamitous Slash to close out the game on this guy on the bench. We could... yeah, we got some options. Options we have plenty of. It's very possible they still, you know, like, they get the Mallow and Lana off. Or they are kind of running out of energy. There's 6 there. 2 in the discard. That's 10. I mean, they have... But they usually play 14... 1 Psychic, 1, what's it called? And we left the Viridian Forest in play, so they have plenty of access to energy. Or the Viridian Forest has been left in play, which is probably smart from our opponents to have never discarded that, because there's kind of just no reason to. They can just keep utilizing that to get energy. Now they're going to get the replace on it with the Ultra Space. They can Ultra Space, get themselves... Blacephalon GX, I guess that's pretty cool. That'll do. So we got to get rid of... Yeah, 1 more GXs, 1 more GX. We're fine. There's a Reset Stamp, but I'm not really worried about Reset Stamp at this point. Our deck, we basically have no deck left anyways. So we should be able to pretty much access our whole deck at this point. Hopefully, yeah, we'll 100% be able to see a draw support. I think we'll actually just be able to see our whole deck. Almost for sure. How many Acro Bike do we have left? Our last Acro Bike. Yeah, I think we'll actually just be able to see our whole deck for sure. Or almost certainly for sure. They can still... Oh no, I'm on my 3-prizer. This is for you. All right. So I'm curious as to seeing what the heck they actually plan to do this turn. They haven't set this guy up to attack yet. They're still a little short on him. They have plenty of energy in play to use the Mind Blown. They're not quite there yet. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. This matchup is generally pretty good. There's a Heatran. That will make things interesting. They have to hard retreat into it, though, which is going to be unfortunate for them. Here's some energy. More energy's come down. All right, so they can easily hard retreat into him. So I guess we're looking at Spell Tag to knock out the Blacephalon. And then Tina Chomp to knock out the Heatran. As long as we can get our fighting energy, which we have a really good shot of hitting off of, you know, draw for turn, we'll Acro Bike. We'll have 2 more cards in our hand, so we're hoping to hit the Cynthia as opposed to the Lillie. We have 1 Cynthia, 1 Lillie left in deck, I believe. Good chance to see both those. Actually, we might be like guaranteed to see either of them if we want to. So we're gonna go ahead and throw 10 here, and yeah, we're gonna go with like this guy hits for 160. Is there any better way to go about it? I don't think so. I think we're trying to go 10 here. And then the 10 here. Maybe no. We hit for 160, so it kills that already. I don't know. Throw the rest here, I guess. I don't think it matters at this point. We're just gonna try and Calamitous Slash to win the game, and then that'll be game. Ideally, there's an Inkay. We don't want to see that because that'll, if we only hit Lillie, makes it really tough to Lillie. Okay, we're actually in a spot where it's gonna be tough to Lillie. How many treasure do we're out of treasures, so we can't like burn any of these Pokemon out of our hand. So actually, it's still looking pretty close. They're down 2 Blacephalons, but they can still set up a 3rd or a 4th Blacephalon, or 3rd Blacephalon, and then one-shot this thing potentially. Are they like out of energy? That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, they have a 14th and a Beast energy. Okay, so we can go Acro Bike. I know there is a... Take the Lillie. I think I take the Great Catcher to burn some cards out, because I know there is a what's it called in the deck? A Cynthia. Yeah, so now we just need to hit the Cynthia with Stellar Wish. There's the Cynthia. And then we can bench the Chomp. Great Catcher. Get rid of those two. Done. Bring up. Etran is fine. And then we're going to have it actually perfect here. We can have for sure draw 6 cards off of the Cynthia and then knock this thing out with the fighting energy that we will 100% draw off the Cynthia because there's 1 in deck and we're drawing 6 cards, and that's it. That's going to be game. We're going to take the dub here over the Blacephalon despite my massive amount of mistakes. And then early on, just not even knowing what the heck we were playing against, which also punished us as well, we're able to make the comeback and beat this Blacephalon deck. Alright, up against some kind of Charizard deck. There's a Ditto in there as well, so I'm not 100% sure as to what the heck we're up against here. It is Charizard for sure. This should be a pretty good matchup. 100% should be a pretty good matchup as long as we're able to set up, actually do things. Our current hand is not great. It is okay. We can definitely work with it. We definitely want to top deck some way to find a Giratina to put the spell tag and the energy on it. Or hopefully maybe they put a GX in play and then we can use the Great Catcher to thin out the hand a little bit. That would be ideal as well. Even just like a Jirachi top deck would be pretty good. Switching Jirachi, Stellar Wish into a Treasure, or get that on Tina. A lot of top deck options as well. Let's see. Treasure is perfect. Debating if I want to get rid of the energy or the Trev. I think we'll get rid of the Trevenant here. Get ourselves that Giratina like I was saying, and then we can put those 2 cards down, and then we can Lillie for +2. Actually, we can Lillie for a lot more than what we were going to Lillie for. Yeah, it's a lot more than what we were going to Lillie for. All right. We need a... Oh, wow. The hand is still not good. I'm going to go ahead and Viridian Forest, get rid of the Giratina. Get ourselves another Psychic. I'll put Tina on the bench with Distortion Door. And then we will Escape Board Retreat. Put on those 2. Then we're going to go Escape Board Retreat. And then we currently have a turn 2 Shadow Impact. And if our opponent doesn't attack us, that's also fine with us because then that gives us more time to set up. So no matter what happens here, we're fine with it. If they get the knockout, oh goodness, there is 9 Temptations. Did not see that coming. That's going to be annoying if they're able to go Candy Charizard 9 Temptations and knock out our Ditto. That would be a lot. That'd be a lot for them to have though. We're just going to kind of hope they don't have it, and then we get to just go Shadow Impact, take a knockout, build up from there. There's a Hearth though, but they need the Candy Charizard. That's going to be the hard part for them. That's always the hard part with these kinds of decks is can they even get the freaking Charizard out? It'll be tough. We'll see. Maybe they'll get it. Maybe not. We'll see. There's an attach to the Charmander. And anything else? Nope, just gonna be the pass. All right, we got the turn 2 Shadow Impact. We're just gonna go with it. We need to do something here. Kind of have a locked up hand, as it were. We have the attach, we have the evolve, we have the psychic recharge to the Tina, and then the switch and the knockout of the Jirachi with the Shadow Impact. I think we'll put the 4 on the Malamar. I don't see a reason to not put it on Malamar, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on Malamar. That's fine. Let Mally have it. Draw a prize, hopefully something good. Jirachi is okay. Not the most ridiculously good thing that it could possibly ever be, but I'm not going to complain. Jirachi does get the job done sometimes, and hopefully this time he will as well. There's a Rosa, so that's going to definitely lead to Candy Charizard, and they could knock out our Malamar if they wanted to, but I don't really see a reason for them to ever knock out our Malamar, so it's probably just going to be knock out our active. I'm going to put all the spell tag damage on Ninetales, so we definitely want to get rid of the Ninetales and shut that thing down. What was that? Candy? They got Jirachi instead, so that means they have a Charizard in hand. And now they're just going to be setting up the Jirachi for the following turn. Yep, they got the Escape Board as well. That's pretty good, not going to lie. I wish I had that. They are actually going for the 9 Temptations. This is 100% fine with me because, yeah, this is just 100% fine with me. That means I get to attack again next turn, which is pretty good when our hand is dead. Getting able to attack when our hand is dead is pretty good. I'm not going to complain about being able to attack when we have a dead hand. Yeah, continuous Blaze Ball, gonna knock us out. We don't get to knock out the Charizard, unfortunately, but they can't actually attack again next turn unless they get a, what's it called, a Welder, because this thing puts 2 damage on them, which means kind of trap them in the active with the Shadow Impact. Draw it, it's a Fighting Energy. Bench Jirachi, Shadow Impact here. I think I am just gonna go ahead and hit my active at this point. I don't want to hit the Jirachi. Yeah, so they cannot continuous Blaze Ball. Or they can't Roaring Resolve. If they have a Welder, they can Welder to it. But what they could do is they could go 9 Temptations up Giratina and then try and trap it for a turn while they manually attach twice to the Charizard, which I feel like is what they're probably going to go for here. But we do have the Switch, which is the perfect response to that, so then we can just Shadow Impact the Charizard again. Hopefully top decking our second Escape Board, so then we can also use this guy. It turns out they also play a Salazzle in the deck. They literally have everything in here. Everything you could possibly imagine. Our opponent has it in their deck. All right. Cynthia, here we go. Finally, a draw supporter. Gonna see some new stuff. Hopefully some Inkays. Not quite yet. Reinforce away this guy. Get a Psychic. That's a cool one. Put that there. Calm away the Mew. Get a Ditto if he's in here. He's not. Get the Inkay. That's fine. Not that big of a deal. Inkay comes down. Spell Tag Giratina. And then Shadow Impact for the knockout. And I'm going to go ahead and punch the same Giratina, I think, actually. Yeah, seems fine to me. Get ourselves a prize card. Still in a fine spot. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. No Inkays, or only 1 Inkay is kind of unfortunate. 2 Inkay would have been very cool. Very cool to have 2 Inkays, but I can live with 1. I'm not going to complain too much. We're still in the game. That's the important part. Our opponent's playing a super interesting deck. We'll see if they can Rosa. They definitely want to Rosa again, I would imagine. Rosa here is ideal for them. There's an Oaks setup. That's not a Rosa, so I'm hoping that means there's no Charizard this turn, which means we get 1 more turn to continue to set up, which is super ideal for us. Yep, there's the Oaks setup. Another Jirachi and a Charmander. All right, that gives us, that should be it. The game should pretty much be over at this point. I don't see our opponent being able to come back from that situation at all. Yeah, I think we have this game locked up at this point. I don't know what our opponent could ever do from this point on to like stop us from winning the game. As long as we're able to attack every turn, which I think we're going to be able to, then it should be pretty easy going from here. It's going to be knock out this Jirachi. We'll have 2 Tina set up so they can't just go chase our Malamar. And then we'll just keep swinging with Tina. We have spell tags ready to go. They can dodge our spell tags, but they lose the game if they continuously dodge the spell tags. And hopefully we can be able to Blacephalon on 3. That's a little bit annoying. Now they can actually 9 Temptations up our Giratina. They still somehow have ridiculous amount of fire energy in hand. They're actually going to bring up the Inkay, which kind of makes no sense because I can just hard retreat that. As opposed to bringing up the Tina, which means I maybe actually wouldn't be able to. So they definitely should have brought up the Tina. Way less chance I'd be able to attack this turn. Maybe they're thinking if I have a Switch, I have a Switch, but I could have an Escape Board, I could have just an Energy like I did. It definitely makes no sense there from our opponent to play it out the way they did. Not the worst thing ever, I guess. Now hopefully they don't have Energy to bring it up again and trap it in the active. That would be ideal for us. Hopefully they can't trap the guy again. If they do, though, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. They're just going to be able to swing again with Shadow Impact. And they won't be able to. The biggest thing is they can't Roaring Resolve. Once you Shadow Impact them, they just can't Roaring Resolve because they would actually just die. And they don't want to do that because it makes no sense to ever do that. There's a Welder being used, but that's kind of going to be a wasted Welder, in my opinion. If I was them, I would have wanted to save that for the turn after. But there they go. Welder to Charmander, draw 3. Trying to get Candy Charizard off that. I think I would have still always try and find another Rosa. I assume they play more than 1 Rosa. Rosa seems very good in this deck. Yeah, Rosa seems very good in this deck. There's a Switch. That's probably not going to do a whole ton for them. And yeah, like I was saying, I think we got them locked up here. There's a Victini, but they can't attack with it this turn. So it's going to be Switch what? Just land it into the dude. Oh, do they have it? Oh, yeah, I definitely should have been hitting this guy anymore. I completely forgot Ember was an attack. Another spell tag. Not going to do a whole ton. We'll calm away Jirachi, get another Inkay. Very slowly building up our reinforcements here. Very slowly, actually. And then, yeah, Shadow Impact for the knock. I guess they can Ember knock this guy out next turn, actually. I didn't really even take that into account. I'm going to hit our Jirachi on the bench here. Shouldn't be a big deal, though. They can do that, but like I said, we have spell tag set up. There's finally a Cynthia to draw some cards. And, yeah, still feeling like we're in a pretty good spot. I don't even know where I'm going to put my spell tag damage next turn. They're going to knock us out. Spell tag. I mean, I guess if they KO us with the Charizard, but once again, they might have 2 more fire energy for the 9 Temptations, which would be super annoying, but they might have it. There's a Caitlyn and Cynthia. Yeah, so this time they looked for the Rosa off the Stellar Wish, and then they whiffed it. So they're going with the Caitlyn and Cynthia instead. They should have looked for the Rosa last turn, like they did this turn first. There's a Rosa for the next turn, but that's going to be a little bit slow, I think. So, should have this one, like I said before, and I'm saying it again, pretty much locked up. We'll see. Recycler. They do need a lot of fire energy in this deck. I wonder if they're gonna once again Hearth 9 Temptations something up off my bench. They could also just knock us out with the Ember from the Charmander. I guess the only thing that really does is that means we get the spell tag, so they could. Now they could Ember our Jirachi, I guess, but they kind of have to deal with this guy at some point, I feel like. Yeah, there's the Ember, knock him out. We're going to go ahead and throw our spell tag damage. Probably just throw it all here, I think. We only need 2 more prize cards. So we're looking at knockout Charmander for sure this turn, into probably knockout Jirachi on a following turn. Yeah, it seems about right to me. So we're going to go Distortion Door here and here. I did top deck Baby Blacephalon, so we're gonna go ahead and throw him in play, give him a spell tag as well, and then Cynthia for 6. And got the Escape Board, which is pretty much the ideal thing to find there. Gonna go ahead and grab the Malamar over the Cynthia, and then I'm going to Stellar Wish and grab another Acro Bike to a hand, evolve to Malamar, attach the Escape Board, use some Psychic Recharges, one here of course, and I think I'll throw the other one on the Baby Blown, and then another retreat to the Tina, and then Shadow Impact for the knockout, and go ahead and throw the damage on our bench Giratina. And like I was saying, and like I'll say again, this one's pretty much wrapped up. We're just going through the motions here at the end, waiting for our opponent to either concede or kind of just pass turn. We have plenty of options to take our final knockout, and there's no way for our opponent to actually prevent us from doing it. I believe we have our last switch in the deck. There's a reset stamp, but that does absolutely nothing. That'll get them absolutely nowhere. Not gonna do anything. That's it. I don't know. Here we go. Stellar Wish. Can it get them anything? I don't think so. We'll see what they grab. It's a Welder. Do I really care? No, I once again don't think so. We'll see. I'd like to see if they had anything spicy at this point to close it out, but instead they're going with Rosa. I don't even know what that could possibly grab them at this point. Maybe they got some super secret spicy tech card to give us trouble at the end here. It's going to be Heatran, Crystal, and a Fire Energy. The Heatran is going to be a little bit annoying. Nope, he won't actually, because they're not even. They can GX attack with Heatran. That doesn't even quite knock us out. I can send it up to stall, but then we have the Baby Blacephalon anyways with the Fireworks Bomb. I guess they can GX attack, knock out our Jirachi with the Heatran. That looks like it's going to be their route of choice. Nope, it's going to be bring up Malamar and stall until we find our switch. Okay, alright, so our opponent is locking in the stall method here with no possible way to win the game. So we're going to draw. Acro Bike. Take the Acro Bike. All we need is that last switch that I'm almost 100% sure positive is in the deck. There it is. That'll do. And we're going to close them out here with a Shadow Impact on the Jirachi. There we go. Shadow Impact. Goodbye, Jirachi. And that's going to do it. Take the dub here over our opponent's very interesting Charizard, Rosa, Ninetales, Victini, Salazzle. Didn't even see the Salazzle deck. And that's going to do it for this video on the Malamar deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.